Hello Stalkers, I'm Kathryn Sapplin, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 lessons that I learned while studying abroad. First up, it's a small world after all. When you go abroad, you will leave a part of your heart there and you'll take part of that country home with you. And if you continue to travel, this will be something that you do each and every single time. You are going to realize that there's no place that you can't call home. There are never people that you can't call your friends. And you realize that truly the world is this tiny place. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And normally when that happens, you realize I am a world citizen because we're all on this rock together. We're all trying to make our way in the world, and it's a beautiful lesson. It's my favorite lesson that I learned. Number 2, gratefulness. I feel like we've all been conditioned to not take the big things for granted. Things like our civil rights, our family, our cultural heritage and all that. But I will say there are some tiny things that I feel that we as people tend to take for granted. Language being one of them. I never knew how difficult life could be when you can't speak a language proficiently. I didn't realize how difficult life could be when you couldn't speak a language effortlessly. Something as simple as listening to somebody and simultaneously taking notes is something that I still can't do in French. I can do it in English. Heck, I could listen to somebody, take notes, and listen to music all at the same time. No issues. That would not work in French. Things like being able to find foods that you grew up with. Tiny little things that, at the end of the day, we all should be more grateful and more appreciative of the things that we have in life. Number 3, home is where the heart is. So what I found really interesting is that I went to France knowing that I was going to go back to America. But by the end of it, France became my home. And when I went back, I was going back home, but that feeling that France is my home never changed. In fact, now that we live in Belgium, France is as much as my home as America is my home. Number 4, open-mindedness. So this one is more of a difficult lesson to learn because you need to get over that knee-jerk reaction of my way, I like my way, no I don't like this new one. It's a good lesson to learn. It really is, but it's difficult. But once you get over it, like your world opens. It's amazing. Number 5, perspective. If you happen to be able to go to a country that does things very differently, then your perspective is going to change. Now, it's not necessarily going to change in a good way or a bad way, but you will be able to see things differently. For example, I can understand why Americans going to France might find the French rude, because from the American perspective, they are. And I can understand why French people going to America would have a difficult time and find Americans rude, because from the French perspective, they are. However, from the French perspective, French people are polite. And from the American perspective, Americans are polite. Neither is right or wrong, it's different. Now this one is sort of a good thing and a bad thing, because at the end of the day, you might know the perspective and understand it, but you might have a personal preference of how you want to be, which in turn could lead to some conflicts for people who essentially did the same thing you did but went the other direction. But at the end of the day, differences is what makes the world go round, so it's all good. Number 6, unoffendable. When you go abroad, you learn to adapt and you realize that there are cultural differences, there's lost in translation moments, there's a whole array of things that could explain a negative reaction. You take time to stop and think about it and ask questions. I've gotten to the point myself where it's like, I don't get offended that easily because I think to myself, okay, I actually know where this person is coming from. It's from a lost in translation moment, or it's a cultural difference, and they're having that knee-jerk reaction, so it's okay. Which, can be annoying to trolls who just want to get a reaction out of you, and it doesn't work. Sorry. You could try saying that coffee isn't good. Number 7, independence and maturity. Pretty self-explanatory, but when you go abroad, you grow up, and you do it fast and efficiently. Number 8, courage. I would say my year abroad just gave me this extra kick and boost of confidence that propelled me into trying things that I wouldn't have typically tried before, because in my mind I thought if I could go to France, learn French, do well in my classes, deal with all the hatred, and it didn't get me down, then there was absolutely nothing in life that I couldn't handle. Number 9, patience. So this is something that I have learned from other people who are patient with me, because going to France, I was very hurry, 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 I'm on a schedule, let's go, let's go, let's go, move, 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 move. But going to France really showed me how to just calm down, to relax, to just c'est la vie, ce n'est pas grave, and just take a breath and let things happen. And I'm so thankful for this lesson, because patience is a virtue that we all should have, because just taking a breath and not letting things get to us is just, you'll live longer if you don't stress out. I don't succeed with this all the time because I like to stress out. I don't know why, I'm a masochist, so I'll probably die sooner. Oh well. Number 10, respect. And I don't want to give the impression that I wasn't respectful. I would say though that after studying and living in other countries, my definition of respect has changed. Before, respect for me meant being polite and agreeable. The only problem with that is what is and isn't considered polite, what is and isn't considered agreeable manners or behavior changes from country to country. So that definition of respect just doesn't work. So for me, respect now means more of empathizing and not jumping to conclusions. Somebody might express themselves in a rude or negative manner for a plethora of reasons. Maybe there's a cultural difference. Maybe English is their second language and their manner of expression is different in their language. It's just, you can't jump to conclusions. You have to just assume that the other person has the best intentions and work from there. You're better off for it. So those are 10 things that I learned while studying abroad, and if you've gone abroad or if you lived abroad, I would love to know what you learned. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want some more, be sure to check out one of my playlists. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the bell for notifications. You can follow me on Twitter, and as always, my social links are in the description below. See you guys in the next video. Tootsies may applescenes, simultaneous. You should also appreciate your mom and your family, especially if it's really easy to get to your family. So yeah, countries steal your heart because they're thieves. I'm trying really hard to think right now what somebody could do that I would find really offensive. Yeah, I don't know. I'm unoffendable now. And we'll move on.